Pretty much all of us have a savings account, maybe some investments, a credit card. We see the big numbers, right? The advertised returns, the interest rates. But do we have any idea what's really going on under the hood? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover the hidden costs that can quietly and seriously reshape our financial futures. Let's get right into it.
So let me just start with the question for you. You're looking at a financial product, and it has this, small annual fee. Let's say it's just 2%. Doesn't sound like much, does it? Kind of insignificant. But here's the thing, is it really that small? The answer to that question might just change the way you look at your money forever.
All right, first up, let's talk about what I call the silent drain on your wealth. We tend to think of fees as just this tiny one-off charge, but that's the wrong way to look at it. It's so much more helpful to think of them as a slow, silent leak, a constant drip, drip, drip that can empty your financial tank over time without you ever really noticing it's happening.
And that's because these products are way more complex than their marketing lets on. See, that big, flashy number they advertise, that return rate, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's only one part of the story. To really get what you're signing up for, you have to dig deeper and look at all the little pieces that decide its real impact on your money.
Okay, now for the fun part. This is where it gets really interesting. Let's dive into a tale of two investments. This is going to be a super clear, real-world example where you'll see just how massive the effect of a seemingly tiny cost can be.
So, let's imagine you've got 100,000 dirhams ready to invest. It's a good, solid starting point. And you've found two different investment options that, at first glance, look pretty much identical.
Now check this out. Both investment A and investment B are doing the exact same thing. They're growing at a solid 7% per year. There is only one difference, but it's a huge one. Investment B has that small 2% annual fee, and that little fee is like a tiny pair of scissors constantly snipping away at your growth. It takes your return from a healthy 7% and chops it right down to an effective 5%.
Okay, so you let both of these investments just sit. For 20 years, take a look at this chart. You don't even need the numbers yet to see that something has gone very, very differently here. The gap between those two bars, well, that's the story of what that 2% fee really does over 2 decades. All right, let's look at investment A, the one with zero fees. After 20 years of pure, untouched, beautiful compound growth at 7%, your 100,000 dirhams has blossomed into almost 387,000. Now that is the magic of compounding when you just let it do its thing.
But then, we have investment B. Remember, it had the exact same 7% market performance. But because of that 2% fee, that slow leak chipping away year after year, the final value is only about 265,000 dirhams. I mean, what a massive difference.
And this, right here, is the absolute kicker. That small 2% fee didn't just cost you 2% of your gains. Oh no. Over 20 years, it cost you more than 121,000 dirhams. That money didn't disappear because of a bad market. It was systematically siphoned away, bit by bit, by the fee itself. Okay, so we've seen the damage that fee can do. But why? What's actually going on inside these products that makes this happen? Let's get into it and dissect the anatomy of a financial product.
The key idea to get your head around is financial components. The best way to think about this is like the ingredients on a food label. These are all the individual parts, the interest rate, sure, but also all the fees, the penalties, the fine print, the rules that all get mixed together to create the final result. They determine the product's true impact on your wallet. And trust me, these components are everywhere. You'll find them in your basic banking products like savings accounts and credit cards, and you'll absolutely find them in investment products like mutual funds or bonds. Each one has its own unique mix of potential hidden costs to watch out for.
And this brings us to a really critical point. It's almost never just about that one big obvious fee they tell you about up front. You have to learn to look beyond that to find the other costs that are usually tucked away in the fine print.
Yeah, these less obvious costs can come in all sorts of flavors. You might get hit with transaction fees every time you buy or sell. Maybe there's a performance fee if the manager does well. What if you need your money back early? Whoops, there's an early redemption penalty. And then there are the good old administrative charges or advisory fees on top of all that. It's like a whole minefield of little costs, and believe me, they add up fast.
And it's not always about money leaving your account directly. Sometimes the cost is about control. Things like contractual obligations can really limit your flexibility. They might lock up your money for a certain period, meaning you can't get to it even if you need it. That loss of liquidity, that's a huge hidden cost too.
Okay, so after all that, you're probably thinking, how on earth do I protect myself from this? Well, that's what this final section is all about. Let's walk through the Smart Investor's Checklist. This is a simple but really powerful framework you can use for pretty much any financial decision you make.
Here it is. It's just 3 simple steps. Step 1, analyze the entire cost structure. Go on a hunt. Find every single fee, every charge, every commission. Don't stop at the obvious one. Step 2, review all the rules. Really understand the withdrawal penalties, the lock-in periods, anything that restricts your access to your money. And finally, step 3, compare the trade-off. Look at the potential return and then look at the total cost and all the rules. And just ask yourself, is this actually worth it?
Look, the whole point of doing this is really simple. It helps you sidestep all those unnecessary costs that just eat away at your money. By using a simple checklist like this, you take back control, and you get to keep so much more of your hard-earned returns for yourself.
So we started with a simple question. Is a 2% fee really that small? And I think we know the answer now, right? It's huge. It can be the difference between a comfortable future and, well, not. Now that you know how to look past the fancy marketing and see the real machinery inside a financial product, I'll just leave you with one final thought. What's hiding in your accounts?